Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm back with a new beauty replay video. If you are new here, Beauty Replay is a video series I do on my channel every month where I kind of recap, review, and replay all the new products that I tested out the previous month. That way you guys can have my updated thoughts and opinions on products, and they are more than just first impressions because I have the entire month to test them out. And in addition to sharing my opinion, the replay portion of this video comes into play in a sense because I will be replaying a video showing these products in action on the screen, either here or here. One of these sides I'll have a video on the screen so you can actually see the products in action as well as hearing me talk about them. Now the video footage you will see do come from videos that are already either on my channel or maybe on my IGTV, but I have them conveniently here in one place, so you know, you don't have to go searching all around. But if you do want to see these videos, the full length of videos on my channel, I will have each of them linked so you can check them out, and I would really appreciate it if you did do that because obviously the views and things like that help me. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the products. All right, this first one I want to get out of the way real quick just because I actually don't have any footage of me using it. Well, I did use it today for today's video, but it's really just a spray. Anyways, this comes from PCA Skin. This is their hydrating toner, but it comes in a convenient spray. Now, I will link last month's beauty replay video where I did my review of the rest of the PCA skincare line. There's a lot of really great products in their line, and I talked at length about their products, and I did already test out their toner in the regular size bottle, but they also had sent this in a little convenience travel like spray bottle that they said it was great to use as like just an easy spray toner or to help set or prep your makeup. And I thought that was a really interesting idea, and I hadn't tested it that way previously, so I wanted to give it a shot in December. So I actually took this with me traveling because for my surgery I did go to Florida, and I did spend a few days there kind of like as a little vacation with my husband before my surgery. So when I travel, my skin definitely does tend to change or have issues because of the flight and the air, and just in different places, you know, they might have different air quality, whether it's more pollution, less pollution, maybe it's more dry, maybe it's more humid. And so anyways, I thought it would be a really great idea to have this as my setting spray, because toner is supposed to like help balance your skin out. If I'm remembering correctly, like that's what toner does. It's like a pH balancer and things like that. So I thought, what a perfect thing to take with me traveling especially, and to use this and put this to the test. And I actually really enjoyed it. Now this is a very small little bottle, so I think I only have about like this much left, so I really got a good use out of it. And I really like the idea of using a hydrating toner as a setting spray. I really felt like this is one of the first times in my life that I've traveled and my skin didn't totally go a wreck. Normally when I'm traveling, it doesn't seem to matter where I go, but it's especially worse when I go to New York, I will say that. But my skin just becomes a wreck. By the time I'm home, it's just so messed up and so out of balance, out of whack. And I feel like this time, the reason I feel like it must be, this is the reason to help cut my skin in check. And so whether you're traveling or not, I think that having a toner as a kind of a setting spray or even a makeup prep spray is a really great idea. So I really did enjoy this. All right, next up I have several items that I received from Benefit. Now I'm not on the Benefit PR list, but I did receive a box that was kind of in collaboration with Ipsy OS members. I am part of the Ipsy OS. I don't remember what OS stands for. Ipsy something, but anyways, it's a group for influencers that a lot of people are beauty influencer stuff that a lot of people are a part of, and I am part of that group. And so anyways, every once in a while they do random things like that where they partner with brands and send products to content creators and influencers to try out. And so I did get a box of goodies in collaboration with Ipsy from Benefit, but they're not like different products, they're just Benefit products. Anyways, I'm so rambly. Anyways, so I got several items to talk about that were new to me from Benefit that I'd never tried before. So one is the cookie highlighter, and I was actually pretty excited to try this just because I feel like everybody talks about the cookie highlighter and how it's so beautiful and so amazing and so just highly raved about. And I actually think it's a lovely highlighter. It is the highlighter I am wearing today. When I first put it on, it truly is like one of those highlighters that go on like bam, pigmentation, and it's really stunning. But I do think you could also wear it toned down a little bit. I think it looks really beautiful. I really like it, and this has been kind of like my go-to highlighter this month. This is actually the one I took traveling with me as well to Florida. Next up, I also got to try the Hoola bronzer, which is another kind of like cult classic, I feel like, but I'd never tried it before. I will just admit that like Benefit is not a brand that has really ever super piqued my interest. I have talked about in past videos that I feel like it's a very boring brand, and I still feel like that. I mean, truly, if you think about it, Benefit's kind of a boring brand, but that doesn't mean that their products are not good. It's just that like there's nothing like super intriguing or new or revolutionary about them. But anyways, I was still excited to try them because they do have some clearly cult classic staple type of items, and Hoola, I believe, is one of them. So anyways, it is in this like little box, and that is also the bronzer that I'm wearing today. I do use bronzer for my contour, and I think that this shade suits me really well. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that they do have maybe 1 or 2 shades of the Hoola. Maybe they have Hoola and then Hoola Light. I don't know if they have a deeper one than this, but I will say that I feel like this bronzer on me looks really good. It looks pretty natural. I don't think it looks too muddy or anything like that. It blends really well. A little bit goes a long way, and I've really enjoyed using it. This is also something I took traveling with me to Florida as well. So I got a really good use out of it most of this month. So I've really been enjoying it and really like this. Now, one thing I'm curious about is that I think like these look really small, so I kind of think that these are more so their travel sizes, or maybe I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I've been to a makeup store like Sephora or whatever in person to see these, but like I kind of think like, is this the actual full size, or is this more of like a smaller size? Because these seem so small, which I don't mind. It's nice to be able to test out, especially a highlighter. I definitely don't need a full size highlighter, but I do feel like these seem really small. So I'm curious, is this the full size, or is this kind of more of a deluxe sample size? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, really actually enjoyed those quite a bit this month. Okay, really quickly, I want to mention this because I have actually tried this before. I tried a deluxe sample size of it, but it was so long ago that I figured I'd just mention it again right now. But I did get a full size of their Roller Lash mascara. That's also the mascara I'm wearing today. And I really like this mascara. I do like the wand. It is like one of those more like flexy, what is this, like a silicone type of wand. I really like that. It's kind of curved. The bristles on top are a little bit longer, and then they're a little bit shorter and denser on the bottom. So I feel like you could really get a curve, like curl in your lashes, as well as if you want to turn it like this, that helps get a curl and really like densely kind of pack on the mascara. I feel like the mascara itself is a really nice formula. It's like the perfect consistency of like not too dry, not too liquidy. You know how sometimes when you get a mascara and at first it's very fluid, very liquidy, and it's almost one of those type of mascaras where you have to open it up, not like leave it open, but open it up so it's like it's opened and exposed to the air, and then like let it set for like a week or two before it's really good, you know what I mean? Or like the first 2 weeks it's too liquidy, but like at a certain point it's like hits its sweet spot and then it's good. Is that just me, or does somebody else get what I'm talking about? I'm sure somebody else gets what I'm talking about. But anyways, I feel like this is at its sweet spot right away, and I really like that. The formula is really nice. I've really been enjoying using this mascara quite a bit. Now, I'm someone who always talks about I love drugstore mascaras. I don't necessarily feel like it's always worth it to pay the high-end price tag for mascaras. That's not to say that I don't love high-end mascaras. There's so many that I really love and appreciate, but do I like spending the price of them? No, not really. I typically will buy drugstore, but oh, this really is a great mascara. So I've really been enjoying it. And then this is new to me. I did also get sent their brow products, which I'm wearing their brow pencil, the skinny one in my brows today, but I've tried that before. It's not new to me, but I really actually do love that brow pencil quite a bit. But this I have not tried before. This is their 24-hour brow setter. It's just their brow gel. I will say that I do like the packaging of their products. They're really cute. It reminds me of like a genie bottle, but it's just like a clear brow gel. I actually really like this. I feel like it goes in my brows and it really holds them in place, but they still feel very natural. They're not too crispy or too gel-like, which I actually don't mind when a brow gel is pretty stiff. Like I like a good stiff brow gel. I prefer that even. But this is kind of like a nice in-between. So if you're someone who doesn't like really crispy brows or a really stiff brow gel, I think you would like this because it gives the hold and like really keeps the brows in place like one that would be stiff would do, but you can kind of touch them and feel them and they feel natural. They feel almost feathery and really nice. So I've actually really been enjoying this too. Like I almost feel bad that I've kind of talked bad about Benefit products, because I guess it's more so not talking bad about the products, it's more so just the brand being boring, but the products themselves are really great and they perform really well, and I have really enjoyed using them. So there is that. I feel like that's kind of boring because so many of those products are not new, they're old news, so it's not like you need a full review from me, but I will just say, like I said, I have really enjoyed using them. Hey beauty babes, I just want to pop in and interrupt this video real quick to let you know that I'm having a surprise giveaway. This is a secret little surprise giveaway that I've put away especially for my true audience. So if you want to see what the giveaway prize is and learn how you can enter to win, there will be a video link in the description box at the probably the very bottom of my description box. So the only way you could find it is if you happen to watch this video this long and happen to see this message. So check my description box for the special link to the special surprise giveaway. So let's go ahead and move on to the last new product, well, products, but it's from one brand that I tried this month. You guys may be the most excited about. So I did receive in PR 4 palettes from a brand called Ditto Cosmetics. It's D-I-T-O. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, if it's Ditto or Dido or anything else, but I think Ditto. For some reason I keep gravitating towards Ditto, so that's what we're gonna call it. But anyways, they sent me 4 palettes, and I did do a you know, full kind of first impressions video on these palettes. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it. I definitely encourage you guys to watch it. I did like a first impressions video, as well as I tested this one out on camera so you guys can see. And then I'm wearing the Eco Earth shade palette on my eyes today as well. I did film another video using one of the palettes. It's on my IGTV. And then I have been using these palettes pretty much exclusively this whole month, with the exception of I did test out a new palette from NBA Cosmetics that they sent me, I think twice this month, but the whole rest of the time this month that I did my eye makeup, these are the palettes I used because I really wanted to be able to put them to the test. Now, if you watched the video, or if you didn't watch the video with these palettes already, this will be a little spoiler. So my first impressions of this palette specifically was I felt like it was kind of a fail. And I will say that after testing it out a little bit longer this month, my thoughts on it have improved, but overall I still feel like the better deal would be to get these smaller palettes. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, the smaller palettes are $10.99, and you're getting 12, 3, 6, you're getting 9 eyeshadows, and you also get a nice mirror. I think the theme of these palettes are really, really cute. And the quality is actually really, really good. I really enjoyed the quality of these. Every time I used any of the palettes, I didn't feel like I needed a primer. I'm someone, just so you guys know, who has drier eyelids, so I don't struggle with like oily eyelids or having eyeshadows, you know, fade away on me, so that's not an issue I deal with. But I will say that there are still some times where shadows don't always perform unless they have an eyeshadow primer, you know what I mean? So that's when I feel like that's kind of how I judge eyeshadows, like when they need a primer, like to really show up and perform. But I feel like these show up really well on their own, and I've never had to use an eyeshadow primer to make them work, you know what I mean? So in that aspect, I feel like the quality is really nice. The mattes blend beautifully. The shimmers are really, really good, actually, packed on the lid as well as blended into the crease. I do have like a shimmer blended in my crease right here, this green shade. They blend beautifully. I will say that I still feel like my very favorite palette is this one, the Shiny Sun Shade palette. I think it's cute because the outside really kind of matches the inside. I love these color tones. I think it's so pretty. Now this one does have one of those like marbled shades, but I don't know if you can tell or not, but this one, after I use it, the marbled effect kind of went away, and it's more just like a creamy shadow. And it's a really, like, a little bit difficult to work with, but not crazy difficult to work with. And then this one also has a pressed glitter in it. And I think this one out of the small ones is the only one with a pressed glitter. And the pressed glitter is like not the best quality that I'm used to, that I like prefer, because I really obviously love the NBA Cosmetics pressed glitters. I think they're the best, or well, their Chromalites version of their pressed glitters are really, really good. Let me go and just swatch some more of these little shimmer shades just so you guys can kind of get an idea. So it's a really, I guess I could stop blinding you with the mirror, really pretty palette. I love the color scheme. I feel like this one has a good variety of shades and tones. So these 4 right here are mattes, and I like and appreciate that they have 2 kind of darker mattes, so you kind of use them as transition as well as deepening shades. And then they have two lighter ones here. And then I like that the variety of shimmer slash metallic-y shades that they have here. I feel like it's a very cohesive, kind of pretty much all-in-one palette. And that's why this was my favorite. Now, I say that because I look at this palette and this palette still kind of frustrates me. I think out of all the palettes, this is one I like the least. And the reason being is because if you look at this palette, look how pretty the outside looks. And judging by the other palettes, you would think what's on the outside is going to be on the inside. Well, you open this up and this is what you have. And these colors are actually really, really pretty. These are colors that I actually really like this one especially, so gorgeous. But it's disappointing because I keep expecting, and I still do it, even though I know, my mind still keeps expecting me to open this palette and to see greens in here. I don't know why. I know this is like a personal preference and it's really petty, but I look at this and it disappoints me every time that I go to reach for it and think it's a green palette, and it's not. Also, I will say that I feel like the color selection here it's pretty, but it doesn't seem quite like a complete palette in a sense. And I know some people can say a palette doesn't need to be all-encompassing, but for me, I do prefer to be able to have kind of an all-encompassing palette to where I don't need additional palettes to make it work or to use it. And I kind of feel like you do need that for this. Now, the matte shades in here are these ones right here. And as you can tell, they are all very, very light. So it's not like you have a shade that's dark enough to really deepen up a look and really take it somewhere, except for like this one or these, but those are more metallic-y shades and you can use those in your crease, but I feel like it's just not as effective. And also because these ones are so light, and even, yeah, that one and this one, they're so light that even on my skin tone, you can barely see them. So for that reason, I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, just disappointing a little bit, because I feel like you can't really get, like as beautiful as these are, you can't really get a full, complete look with it. You can get a pretty look, but I feel like you definitely need another palette to go with this to really get a full complete look, if that makes sense. So that's my only one reason why I feel like this is my least favorite out of all of them. And then I do really like this one a lot. I feel like this would kind of be my second favorite, just because I feel like this is kind of a very full cohesive palette. I like and appreciate that what's on the outside kind of reflects more. So I mean, I feel like this could have been a little bit more blue or a little bit more green, but I'm still happy with it. I still feel like there's enough of what's on the outside on the inside, you know what I mean? So it's not disappointing. And I feel like even though the shades are lighter here, like you have two lighter shades here, this yellow, I have that on my crease today and I feel like it shows up really well for a yellow. It shows up really good. This one is kind of a lighter shade, but it shows up really pigmented as well. And then you have several deeper shades and then some fun, like this greens are really gorgeous. This is a lovely blue, that's what I got on my eyelid today. And then two shades to kind of deepen it up and darken it up. And I really like it. Again, quality is really, really nice. So if these are palettes that interest you, I think the price is very nice for what you're getting. I think the quality is nice. I think the packaging is nice. Now, let's get to this last one. So this one I had a little bit of trouble with. So this is their bigger palette, so it is a little bit more expensive. I think you're getting 18 shades in here, and it's a $20 palette. So you do also get a mirror in here, which is very nice. I think the packaging is seriously so pretty, and I think that's maybe part of the price. I love it. I think the aesthetic of it is so fun. You have these like marbled shades in here that really do look galaxy-like. They really do look planet-like. But you're only getting 3 matte shades in here, and so I feel like it's a little bit difficult to try to figure out what you want to do with this palette. And then you have 1 pressed glitter in here, which is okay. And then a lot of the marbled shades. Now, I mentioned in my first impressions video, because I used this marbled shade up here, and it was very difficult to work with. It was very flaky. Even with setting spray, I had difficulty using it. But I mentioned that it looked like some of the other marbled shades may perform differently. They look like they might be different. Some of them look like they would be dry and flaky like this one. Others look like they might be a little bit creamier, easier to work with. And I did find that to be the case, and that's one thing that kind of made this, my opinion of this, go up a little bit, because not all of them are that difficult to work with. And so that was a good thing, but it is kind of frustrating that there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I haven't tested this one out, but it looks like it'll be a difficult one. Maybe 4 shades in here that are going to be very difficult to work with, and so like for that I'm like, I don't love it, but the other ones were a lot easier to work with than I had a time with this one. So also the other thing that, like, and I mentioned this in my first impressions video, it somewhat bothers me the way these were named. Like, I almost feel like there wasn't a lot of thought necessarily put into the names of these. I feel like they kind of just threw them on there and just named them. But if it were me naming it, I would have named them very differently. Like, you know, this is the shade Sun, whereas I probably would have named this Sun, because to me that makes more sense. There's a shade, okay, so this is the Earth shade. But I would have named that Earth because that looks like the Earth, you know. Mars is up here, it's this white one, but we all know Mars is red, so why wouldn't Mars be this one or this one? You know what I mean? So like, for me, sometimes I kind of felt like the names of them, I don't really care because I haven't really looked at the names, but that's just something that's very petty that I wanted to mention, that I like wish they would have just taken a little bit more time to name these properly, and then that would have been better. But anyways, that doesn't really say anything about the quality or anything. I'm just saying that's a petty little thing that I noticed that I wanted to be like, hey, listen, let's name these better. But anyways, the mattes perform really well. The like satiny kind of shimmery shades performed very, very well. The only ones that were a little bit difficult to work with were the more flaky ones, but some of the other marbled shades actually are a lot more creamy and work really well. The other day I did a look with this pink shade down here, which is so small, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Let's see if I have a little space right here to swatch it. Oh my gosh, look. And it's like smooth and creamy. It's so pretty. Let me swatch some of these other ones. So interestingly enough, like the marbled shades, it's like, that's the other thing about them is that like they're kind of unexpected on like how they look. Like, because they're marbled and there's a bunch of different colors to them, it's really hard to tell like what color they're going to end up being. See, they're kind of more like almost toppery, like, and very light, like not amazing, not mind-blowing. They're fun because in the palette, that's what really catches your eye. That's what really looks really unique and pretty, and I feel like that's what's selling the palette, but they're not as like pretty in use as they are in the palette, and so that's kind of like a little bit of letdown. So this shade right here, if you can see, is this one, and then this middle shade that's kind of like a taupey brown is this one right here, and then this lighter pink shade right here is this one right here. So anyways, I have been using this and I do think the quality is pretty good. It's a lot better in the smaller palettes than the bigger palette, but I have ended up liking the bigger palette a little bit more than I initially did after testing it out a little bit more, but I still think it's a little bit finicky to work with. So my thoughts to you on if I would recommend it is that like, it really just depends. Like, if you buy this, you're gonna buy it because you're really into like space or because you like the packaging. I don't think $20 is like an outrageous price for it, but I would be happier if this were like $15. So if you can get it on sale, that would be good. I think it's a nice palette, but just a little bit all over the place for my preference. So if I were to recommend any specifically from this brand, it would be these two, because those are the two that I end up liking the most. So anyways, I think that's it for my thoughts and opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other questions about these products, anything that maybe I forgot to say or just didn't think to add, please don't hesitate to ask, because I would love to answer them in the comments. And then if you have tried any of these products and have some of your own thoughts to share, whether you agree with me or even disagree with me, I would love for you to share your thoughts and opinions on them in the comments below as well. That way anybody else coming to this video and maybe reading the comments can also have more thoughts and opinions about these products to learn from. So anyways, with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!